Right, so we talked about the Paris show. It's also now time to take you back to the salon at the Geneva show and tell you a whole lot more about the sports cars and the concepts. Yes, I'm kicking off round 2 of CNB's Geneva Motor Show coverage with the all-new Ferrari 488 GTB. The 458 replacement has gone turbo now. The V8 produces 661 bhp, 760 Nm of torque. How does that sound? Ford is jumping into the supercar game with the GT, making its European debut here. The stunning supercar will be priced in Lamborghini Aventador territory, says the Blue Oval. The Aventador itself gets a new version too, permanent all-wheel drive and increased power to a murderous 740 bhp are what define the new Aventador SV or Super Veloce. Lamborghini's parent Audi, meanwhile, has this. The new second-generation R8 V10 Plus and its all-electric alter ego, the R8 e-tron. The new R8 retains the silhouette of the first one, but while it's the same length, it is shorter and wider. It also has an updated chassis and powertrains. Porsche chose Geneva to take the wraps of the Cayman GT4 and the 911 GT3 RS. The Cayman GT4 borrows the 911 Carrera's 3.8-litre 385 bhp engine, and both the cars look delicious in this citrus burst of color. Armed with an updated version of the 650S's 3.8-litre V8 engine, the 666 bhp McLaren 675 LT is the most powerful version, if you will. Now it has 1,782 bhp of raw, unbridled power. The Regera is the first hybrid created by Koenigsegg. It is powered by a combination of a V8 engine and 3 electric motors, one on each rear wheel and one on the crankshaft. And then there are the concepts. Based on the Ferrari F12 Berlinetta is Touring Superleggera's gorgeous Berlinetta Lusso, a more luxurious take on the F12. Based on the Ferrari 458 Spider is the very limited Pininfarina Sergio, of which only 6 will be made. And the showstopper is Bentley's EXP10 Speed 6 concept that previews a smaller coupe that could sit below the Continental GT in the lineup. Just stunning. The second broad theme this time at Geneva, if you want to call it that, is about innovative, lightweight sports cars that are also very green. And so you have another concept here that is interesting, because this one comes from Magna, which is of course the supplier as well as the contract manufacturing company. It's called the Mila, and that basically stands for Magna Innovative Lightweight Auto. Yes, they want to go into production with this. They do have the capacities for it. The interesting thing though is that it also uses a lot of plastic panels to keep the weight down, besides of course being a plug-in hybrid. Geneva always attracts the quirky and the cutting edge. The EDAG Cocoon concept features a flexible sheath-like body surface that's stretched over a frame made of a branch-like network. The frame carries LEDs, and so the car looks like it's lit from within. Well, because it is lit from within. NanoFlow Cell makes the Quant brand of cars that run on electrolyte or salt water. The larger Quant F has been reworked, while the smaller Quantino is an even more efficient electric hatch which uses the same technology but has a 1,000-kilometer driving range. Volkswagen surprised and shocked with its very sexy sports coupe concept, which will spawn the next generation of the four-door coupe, the CC, which was earlier called the Passat CC.
The new car will be positioned between the Passat and the Phaeton.
The exposed headlamp cluster with this integrated grille is something that will never make it to production, but I certainly hope the metalwork does. But the most pertinent question I have is a valid one. If you got a Volkswagen that just looked so good, would you then still want to buy an Audi?
And speaking of gorgeous concepts, we've got to show you the DBX. Aston Martin's take on a potential crossover model. The car is part GT, part SUV. It certainly was a great surprise and is leading to much speculation of a future model line. Besides that, Aston Martin also showed the Vulcan track car.
Since the second generation of the Q7 first debuted at the Detroit Auto Show in January, I have to say that this is the first time I'm seeing it in the flesh, and the critics were a little unkind because the car does have good proportions. It tends to look pretty attractive, and it certainly will remain perhaps just as popular as the Q7 always has. It has the proportions, it also has the 3-row seating. Placing sophistication above ostentation. That's the line from Kahn, the design house, that has taken a whole range of, Range Rovers and turned them into very specifically individualized vehicles. You can see the Evoque back there in a nice matte grey. You've got the Sport here as well in a nice matte grey. And then you've got the range-topping RS650, which is based on the Range Rover. What you see here, of course, besides the Kahn badging in front, is a carbon fiber bumper. There are certain inserts within it which have exposed carbon fiber as well. Inside too, you get individual leather, and it's all been done in a way which enhances the look of the vehicle, which makes it look sportier and, of course, a lot more high-end than it already is. So it's nice to see a lot of presence from individual houses like Kahn here at Geneva.
We showed you the model year 2016 Range Rover Evoque last week. Land Rover has also confirmed plans to put the Evoque convertible into production, also in 2016. We also showed you Renault's new compact crossover, the Kadjar. The car it's based on, the Nissan Qashqai, also got some attention at Geneva, though we have seen the new generation before globally. Nissan also showed us a premium hatch concept, the Sway, not heading to us anytime soon though. And now for a total change of pace.
It is one of the rare times on the show that you'll see me without a helmet on a two-wheeler. The Metropolis forms the flagship of the range when it comes to the Peugeot scooters. Now, something like this, quite a monster it looks like, doesn't it? Would you like to see it come into our market? The reason for the relevance of this question is that even though we keep waiting for the Peugeot and Citroën range of cars to come to our market, that entry keeps getting delayed. But Mahindra now owns this business. It acquired Peugeot scooter business, and so you have a little sampling of 3 products over here, each of them very different. This one slightly retro, and this of course more in line with the kind of products that you see in our market already. So the point being that it could provide a massive boost to bring some of these in as flagships to help boost Mahindra's existing two-wheeler business in India. And remember, a lot of that is driven by scooters anyway.
And finally, I want to end with this. The Rolls-Royce Serenity is the luxury car maker's latest example of how customized and bespoke its cars can be. The Serenity is inspired by a royal Japanese garden and uses intricate paintwork on the body and fine silks inside to bring that vision to life. The result is one of the most opulent and tasteful handcrafted car interiors you'd have ever seen.